All right, we'll start seated today. You guys are already there, so just a comfortable cross-legged position to start. And if you like, you could sit elevated on a blanket or a block just to get your sit bones up a little bit. And just close your eyes. Just feel that rooting of the sit bones. And then just feel a gentle lift up through the center of the chest and the top of the head. You can just feel that elongation of the spine and the head stacking over the shoulders and the hips, so that it feels like there's minimal effort. And then start to take some more focused breaths in and out through your nose. And as you do that, just notice what moves in your body with the breath. Notice if the breath feels easeful or a little sticky this morning. Just notice that nice rhythm that the breath creates. Right here, just take some shoulder rolls up and back. And then opposite direction. And then just let the shoulders soften. You can open your eyes if they're closed. We're going to take a little counted breath with some really gentle movement. So we'll just start with a gentle twist over to the right. You can just do this with me and follow along. And then you'll keep that gentle twist in the torso. And then we're going to move the right arm in circles. So take that right arm forward and then up by your ear. That's going to be our inhale. And then you'll lower it back behind you on your exhale. So it'll be an inhale, bring that arm forward and up, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, circle it down, 2, 3, 4. And maybe you close your eyes, inhale up, 2, 3, 4, exhale down, 2, 3, 4, inhale up, 2, 3, 4, exhale down, 2, 3, 4, inhale up, 2, 3, 4, exhale down, 2, 3, 4, and then just hold in that twist. Take a couple breaths. And then just unwind the twist. Come back to center. Place both hands on your knees. Close your eyes. And just notice how the right and the left shoulder feel. Even down through the torso, since we've only done the twist on one side. And I think we did opposite sides, but you know what you did. So just twist to the other side. And then take your back arm, reach it forward and up, and then back and down. So starting the count, inhale, take it forward and up, 2, 3, 4, exhale back, 2, 3, 4, inhale up, 2, 3, 4, exhale back, 2, 3, 4, inhale up, 2, 3, 4, exhale back, 2, 3, 4, inhale up, 2, 3, 4, exhale back, 2, 3, 4, holding in the twist. And then just unwind that, come back through center, rest the hands on the knees, close the eyes, notice how the shoulders and the torso feel. And then from there you can open your eyes, remember what shin you have in front. Let's just take the legs out in front of you and point and flex the feet. And then take some circles. And the opposite way. And then we'll just recross the legs, take the opposite shin in front. We'll do one more little counted breath with movement here. So just take your arms up by your ears, give yourself a big stretch. And take your right palm down, take a side bend. We'll just take the movement first without the count. So from the side bend, you're gonna walk your hands forward in a big half circle and make your way over to the other side. So just take an inhale here in that side bend. And then we'll exhale, take it forward and around, 2, 3, 4, side bend, inhale, 2, 3, 4, exhale around, 2, 3, 4, inhale, side bend, 2, 3, 4, exhale around, 2, 3, 4, inhale, side bend, 2, 3, 4, exhale around, 2, 3, 4, inhale, side bend, just pause there for a moment and then come upright, both arms reaching up, and then bring the palms together and down to the heart. And take your hands next to your hips, unwind your legs so they're bent with the feet wider than the hips out in front of you, and then just windshield wiper your knees side to side here. And the next time the knees are through center, you can just cross your shins and make your way up into tabletop. And then you just have a little bit of time to do whatever you like, some cat-cow, wiggle of the hips, maybe taking it into a child's pose. And then just come to stillness in your tabletop, and then take your right leg, keep it bent, and just make some really easy circles with that right leg. So don't worry about being too perfect, or maybe you just think of circling the knee a little bit. And then circle that the other direction. And then just lower that leg back to tabletop. Same thing with the left leg. Just start to make some really easy circles. and then opposite way. And then just lower the left leg down, so you're back in tabletop. Take your right leg up and back behind you, and then just take the right foot over to the right so you can lower that foot down in line with your hip. And then you can stay on the palms of the hands, or maybe you drop down to your forearms if that feels good for you. And then come back to the palms of the hands if you're on the forearms. Just take that right leg up and back behind you. And then just lower it back down. Give yourself a little wiggle of the hip side to side. And then take your left leg up and back behind you. Take that foot over to the left so it lowers down in line with the hip. And then maybe drop down to your forearms. And then come back to the palms of the hands. Take that leg up and back behind you. And then just lower it to tabletop. Bring your big toes together. Sit back into child's pose. Then just walk your hands back so you can come to sitting on your heels. If that's not comfortable, you could be in a cross-legged position. We won't be here for very long. And then interlace the fingers behind the back. Just take a gentle little clasp here. And release the clasp, walk your hands back forward and make your way into downward facing dog. And just move around in this first down dog. And walk your feet forward to your hands, forward fold top of the mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. And exhale, bring your hands down to your heart. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, straight back, downward facing dog. And then walk your feet forward to your hands, forward fold front of the mat. Take an inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, step to plank. On your inhale, drop your knees, modified plank. Exhale, lower all the way to your belly. Inhale for cobra, lift head and shoulders. And exhale, lower down, press through tabletop to downward facing dog. And then walk your feet forward to your hands, forward fold front of the mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands down to the heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, right foot back for a lunge. Stay on the ball of that foot. On your inhale, come up for crescent, reach your arms up. And exhale, hands frame the foot, step to downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg up and back. Exhale the foot between the hands. Inhale for crescent, arms by the ears. Exhale, hands frame the foot, back foot forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, left foot back for a lunge. Left heel down to the mat this time. Inhale, warrior two, just for the breath. Exhale, hands frame the foot, step to down dog. Inhale, come forward into plank. Exhale, lower to your belly. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, foot between the hands, back heel down. Inhale, warrior two, just for that breath. Exhale, hands frame the foot, back foot forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Exhale, fold right back forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, step to plank. Take an inhale in your plank. Exhale, lower to your belly. Take your arms down by your sides. On your inhale, lift everything up for locust. And exhale, lower down. Two more like that. Inhale for locust. Exhale down. Inhale up. And exhale down. Hands by the low ribs. Press through tabletop to downward facing dog. Just pause there. Take some breaths. And then walk your feet forward to your hands, forward fold front of the mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, right foot back for a lunge. Inhale for crescent, arms by the ears. Exhale, warrior two, spin your back heel down. Inhale, reverse, left arm up and back. And then exhale, hands frame the foot, bring your back foot forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up to standing. Exhale, cactus your arms, little back bend. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, left foot back for a lunge. Inhale, crescent, arms by the ears. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse, right arm up and back. Exhale, hands frame the foot, back foot forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale all the way to standing. Exhale, cactus your arms, little back bend. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, straight to downward facing dog. You have some breaths in your down dog. And then take your right leg up and back. Just bend the knee, open the hip, take a little bit of movement. And then straighten the legs, square off the hip, bring the foot between the hands, and come up into crescent, reach your arms up by your ears. This time just holding in crescent. I know we were doing a lot of movement there to start. And then bring your hands down to frame your front foot and walk your hands to the left, all the way to the back of the mat. So you're framing your left foot for a lunge. Spin your right heel down and cartwheel your arms up, warrior two. So just holding warrior two facing the back of the mat. And then cartwheel your hands down to frame your left foot. Walk your hands to the right, all the way to the front of your mat. And then just step back to downward facing dog. And then take your left leg up and back. Bend the knee, open the hip, maybe take a and then straighten the legs, square off the hip, bring the foot between the hands and come up into crescent, reach your arms up by your ears. And then bring your hands down to frame your front foot, walk them to the right, all the way to the back of the mat. Frame your back foot for a lunge. Spin your left heel down and cartwheel your arms up, warrior two. Excuse me. cartwheel your hands down to frame your right foot for a lunge. Walk the hands to the left all the way to the front of the mat. You could take a vinyasa or step back to downward facing dog, however you'd like to get back there. And then take your right leg up and back. Bring the foot between the hands. Come up into crescent. Just take a couple breaths there in crescent. And then bring your left hand to the mat. Twist to the right. Reach your right arm up. And then bring your right hand down to frame your foot. Walk your hands to the left, all the way to the back of your mat. Spin your right heel down. Come up to warrior two. Take a couple breaths in your warrior two. And then straighten your left leg. Start to reach towards the back of the mat. Come into triangle pose. And then from triangle pose, come into warrior two, bend your left knee. And then cartwheel your hands down to frame your left foot. This time walk your hands to the right halfway and spin your feet parallel. So you're coming into a wide leg forward fold facing the long edge of your mat. And then once you have that, spin your heels in and your toes out. And then take a little bend in your right knee, left leg will stay straight. And then we'll change sides, straighten the right knee, bend the left. So you can just kind of move side to side here, alternating, bending the knees. And then just straighten both legs, spin the feet parallel, and then walk your hands to the right to frame your right foot for a lunge. You should be facing the front of your mat, yes. And then step back, downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths. And then take your left leg up and back. Bring the foot between the hands and come up into crescent. Take a couple breaths in your crescent. And then bring your right hand to the mat, twist to the left, reach your left arm up for your twist. And then bring your left hand to the mat. Walk your hands to the right, all the way to the back of your mat. Spin your left heel down. Cartwheel your arms up to warrior two. Take a couple breaths in your warrior two. And then straighten your right leg, hinge towards the back of the mat, triangle pose. And then come back up to warrior two, bend your right knee. Cartwheel your hands down to frame your right foot. And then walk your hands to the left halfway, spin your feet parallel for that wide leg forward fold. And then once you're there, spin your heels in and your toes out. And then take that little alternate bending of the legs like we did on the first side. So just back and forth at your own pace. And then come back to center where both legs are straight. Spin your feet parallel just for a moment. And then walk your hands to the left to frame your front foot. And you're weighted down dog, vinyasa, or step yourself straight back. Just a couple breaths once you land there in down dog. And then walk your hands and your feet towards each other. So you're in a forward fold at the center of your mat. Walk your feet a little wider than your hips. Spin your heels in and your toes out. And then bend your knees, come into Malasana, Yogi Squat. Bring your hands to the mat, straighten your legs, lift your hips, walk your feet hips distance and parallel, and then make your way back into downward facing dog. I'm gonna take your right leg up and back. Bring the foot between the hands, come up into crescent, just a couple breaths in crescent. And then bring your hands down to frame your right foot for a lunge. You can stay in the lunge with your front knee bent, or you can take a modified pyramid, straightening your right leg. And then rebend your right knee if it's straight. Walk your hands to the left all the way to the back of your mat. Spin your right heel down, come up into warrior two. And then from your warrior two, left forearm to thigh, right arm by the ear, extended side angle. And then if you want, right hand can come to hip. We'll come into half moon pose. Left hand to mat or block under the shoulder, and then take your right leg up and back. Once you feel good with the legs, maybe that right arm extends towards the ceiling. And then nice and easy, back to your warrior two, come upright. And then circle your hands down to frame your left foot for a lunge. Walk your hands to the right halfway, spin your feet parallel just for a moment so you're in your wide-legged forward fold. And then spin your heels in and your toes out. Now from there, bend your right knee. You can just take a little bend like we did earlier and stay with the hips up. Or if you want, you can bring the hips all the way down towards the right heel. So you're on the back of your left heel with your toes pointing up. If you're there, maybe hands are at the heart. You have one more breath on this side. And then maybe hands come down so you can come through center with the hips, straighten the right leg, bend the left leg, maybe a little staying there, or maybe coming all the way down. Oh, good morning. We haven't done this in a while, have we? And then bring your hands to the mat if they're not there. Come back through center so both legs are straight. And then walk your hands to the right, frame your front foot, and make your way back to downward facing dog. And then take your left leg up and back. Bring the foot between the hands, come up into crescent, reach your arms up by your ears. And then take your hands down to frame your front foot. Straighten your left leg if you want for that modified pyramid. And then re-bend your left knee. Walk your hands to the right, all the way to the back of the mat. Spin your left heel down. Come up, warrior two. And then right forearm to thigh, left arm by the ear, extended side angle. And then maybe left hand to hip, right hand to mat or block, coming into half moon pose, lifting that left leg up and back. And maybe the left arm reaches towards the ceiling once you feel settled. Those look really nice. Make your way back into your warrior two. And then cartwheel your hands down to frame your right foot. Walk the hands to the left halfway. Spin your heels in and your toes out. Take a little bend in your left knee. Maybe you stay with the little bend, or maybe you come all the way down, hips towards that heel as the right toes point up towards the ceiling. Hands maybe are at the heart, or they can stay resting down. You have one more breath on this side. And make your way through center over to the other side. So left leg straightens, right leg bends, maybe a little or a lot so the hips can come down. And then come back up through center so both legs are straight, hips are lifted. And then walk your hands to the left, frame your left foot for a lunge, your way back to downward facing dog. And walk your hands and your feet towards each other, forward fold center of the mat. Take an inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way to standing. And then exhale, hands down to the heart. And then just bring your right leg into tree pose, so whatever variation you like. And then once you feel steady with your legs, take your arms up by your ears. And then if you'd like, bend your left elbow and take your right hand to your left elbow. And then if you're reaching for the elbow, just take your arms back by your ears. Bring the hands to the heart. Lower that foot down. We'll go straight to the other side. So take your left leg into tree. Once you feel steady with the legs, arms up by the ears. And then maybe you bend the right elbow and take your left hand to your right elbow. And if you have the elbow, reach the arms up by the ears. Bring the hands to the heart, and then just lower that foot down to the mat. Pause there, take an inhale, and an exhale. And then inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale to downward facing dog. This is your last down dog. Just several breaths here. And then drop your knees, come back into child's pose. And then make your way up through table, just so you can cross your shins. Make your way all the way back onto your back. And once you're on your back, just hug your knees in towards your chest. Maybe take a little rock side to side since I haven't been here yet this morning. And then keep the knees bent, just drop the feet to the mat, arms by the side, setting up for a bridge. And then press into the feet, roll up into your bridge pose. Just hold the hips elevated at the top. And just lower the hips down to the mat, pause there, take a breath. And then hug your knees back in towards your chest and crush your right thigh over your left thigh. So thighs are fully crossed, hands can be behind the thighs to hug them in, or maybe hands are reaching for the outer edges of the feet. And then keep your legs crossed, just take your arms to a T. Drop the left foot to the mat so you can shift your hips a little to the right. And then drop your knees over to the left. And if you don't like that, uncross the right leg and stack it on your left leg. Then bring the knees back through center. Just unwind the legs so you can hug your knees in towards your chest. And then cross the left thigh over the right thigh. Hands either the back of the thighs or outside of the feet. your arms to a T, drop that right foot to the mat, shift your hips to the left, and then drop the knees to the right. And maybe you uncross and step your left leg on your right leg for the twist. Draw your knees up through center, unwind the legs, and just hug the knees towards the chest. And either stay right there or come into a happy baby. Maybe a little rock side to side. And if you're in happy baby, hug your knees back in, give yourself a squeeze. And then release and find your way into Shavasana, comfortable position for you. Start to deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Circle your ankles and wrists. Reach your arms by your ears, big stretch. And then roll off to one side, pause there with your eyes closed. And then press into your top hand, make your way up to a comfortable seat, eyes closed, hands at the heart. I have a little mantra this morning if you want to repeat it to yourself. It says, I am making choices that uplift and support myself and the people I love. Take that with you to the rest of your day. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.